Hey there, smooth seekers. Welcome to the Smooth Sasquatch. I'm your host, Sassy. Yes, that's Sassy. 7 feet tall, size 22 shoe, and more body hair than a yak convention. If anyone on this planet has a complicated relationship with hair removal, it's me. I'm literally covered, head to toe, in a thick, luxurious coat of fur that has kept my species warm through ice ages. And yet, here I am, a Bigfoot who waxes. So buckle up. Because today, we're going deep, like ripped from the root deep, into the science, the safety, and the whole vibe of professional waxing. And specifically, why I trust a place called Waxing the City to handle all of this. Let's start where most of you start, the shower. You know the scene. The water's going cold, the lighting is terrible, and you are twisting yourself into shapes that would impress a yoga instructor just to reach that one spot on your ankle. Now, imagine doing that when you're my height and your legs are basically tree trunks. The shower shave? Not my friend. Never was. And here's the thing. Even when you nail it, even when you get every last hair, smooth for what? 6 hours if you're lucky. By the next morning, boom, sandpaper, the dreaded stubble. And look, I get it. Shaving is cheap, it's private, it doesn't hurt, most of the time. But there's a reason it never lasts, and it comes down to geometry. Yeah, geometry, stay with me. Every hair on your body is naturally tapered. Thicker at the root, thinner at the tip. That's why unshaved hair feels soft. Now, when you drag a razor across it, you're basically giving that hair a haircut right at the skin's surface. And you're creating a blunt, sharp edge. Think of snapping a piece of uncooked spaghetti in half. That flat, jagged end? That's what pushes up through your skin within hours. That's stubble. Shaving literally guarantees you're going to feel rough. Now compare that to waxing. Waxing doesn't cut. It grabs the hair and pulls it out from the root, the follicle, the bulb, the whole operation. You're hitting the reset button. And when the body finally grows a new hair, which takes weeks, it comes back with that natural, soft, tapered tip. No sandpaper, no stubble. And here is where I need to bust a myth that drives me absolutely crazy. The idea that ripping out hair makes it grow back thicker and darker. I call it the gorilla myth, and I'm a literal Bigfoot telling you, it is 100% false. The biological reality is the exact opposite. Repeated waxing causes trauma to the hair follicle. And I know trauma sounds bad, but in this case, it's the good kind. Every time you yank out a hair by the root, you're damaging the follicle's ability to produce a strong hair. You're discouraging it. You're literally training your body to quit growing so much hair there. The hair that does come back? Finer, sparser, sometimes even lighter in color. You're playing the long game, and the long game wins. Now, I've been at this for a while, and let me tell you, my forearms used to look like I was wearing a fur coat. Now, more of a light cardigan. Progress, people. Oh, and there's a bonus nobody talks about. It's not just about the hair. Waxing does something incredible for your skin. When you pull that wax off, you're also lifting away the top layer of dead, dry skin cells. It's basically an exfoliation treatment baked right in. That's why your skin has that glassy, polished glow right after a wax. Even my skin, which, trust me, has been through a lot, looks amazing after a wax. Okay, so the science makes sense. That's the why of waxing. But now we need to talk about the WHO, because for a lot of people, and a lot of Bigfoots, the fear isn't just the process. It's the person doing it. This is where Waxing the City really sets itself apart. And it starts with a word. They don't call their staff waxers. They call them Cerologists. Say it with me, Cerologists. Sounds very official, right? But is it just a fancy name tag? Nope. Cera is Latin for wax. Ologist means an expert in a field. So, literally, a scholar of wax. And the training backs it up. In the general beauty world, waxing is often just an add-on service. You go get your nails done, and there's a sad wax pot in the back corner. The person doing your brows might do 1 wax a day between blowouts. They're generalists, and you can feel it. It's rushed. It's an afterthought. At Waxing the City, a serologist has to be a licensed esthetician or cosmetologist first. That's the baseline. Then they go through a mandatory proprietary training program. All they do, all day, is wax. They're specialists. And listen, if someone is coming at my sensitive areas with hot wax, and I have a lot of sensitive areas, I want the specialist, not the generalist who just finished someone's gel manicure. Now, speaking of safety, we need to talk about hygiene, because there is one rule in the safety protocols that should be screaming from every salon wall: the no double dipping rule. Let me explain this because I don't think people realize how bad double dipping is. It's when a technician puts a wooden stick in the hot wax pot, applies it to your skin, and then puts that same stick, the one that just touched your body, back into the communal pot of wax. That pot, it becomes a bacteria soup. Everyone's bacteria, all day long, and the wax is not hot enough to kill everything. It's a massive, massive vector for infection. It's horrifying. I'm a creature who lives in the woods, and even I think that's gross. Waxing the city has a zero-tolerance policy. One dip, one stick, then it goes in the trash. If you ever see a technician double dip, just get up and walk out. I don't care if you're mid-Brazilian, leave. And while we're on the topic of comfort, they really get that waxing is, well, intimate, vulnerable. Their whole protocol is designed to minimize the awkwardness. You prep in private, you don't have to undress in front of anyone, and they use specific draping techniques. As someone who has to explain to people that she's not a bear on a regular basis, I appreciate a place that respects my dignity. All right, let's geek out for a minute, because the wax itself is where it gets really cool. I always just assumed wax is wax, sticky stuff in a pot. Wrong. Waxing the City uses custom-formulated wax made for them in Spain, and they don't use just one kind. It's a two-wax system, two kinds, because the hair on your legs is completely different from the hair on your face or bikini line. And believe me, the hair situation varies wildly across the Bigfoot body, so you absolutely cannot use the same tool for both jobs. First up, Cera Ner Anha, the orange wax. This is a hard wax designed for sensitive areas: face, underarms, bikini, and coarse hair. And the science here is incredible. As it cools, it shrink wraps the hair. It hardens and tightens around the individual hairs, but, and this is the crucial part, it doesn't actually stick to your skin. So when they pull, they're pulling the hair, not ripping your skin along with it. That cuts the pain way, way down. And it has a secret weapon, azulene oil, derived from chamomile. It's a powerful anti-inflammatory that soothes the skin at the exact same moment the hair is being removed. Science and kindness in one pull. Then there's Cera Suave, the yellow wax. This is a soft wax for the big areas like legs and arms where the hair is finer. It's a speed wax that stays tacky, and they use a cloth strip to pull it off. The base? Beeswax, super hydrating and calming. So here's your takeaway. If you walk into a salon and they're using one wax for everything, that's a red flag, a big one. Using the wrong wax on the wrong body part is how you end up with bruising and skin tearing. Not cute, not even on a Bigfoot. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room, or in this case, the Sasquatch. Pain. We can talk about shrink wrapping and azulene oil all we want, but yes, it's still going to have some sensation. We are pulling hair out by the root. But here's what the training manuals show. The client has way more control over the pain level than they think. It starts with hair length. There's a Goldilocks zone between 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch, about the length of a grain of rice. That means you have to let it grow for about 2 to 4 weeks. If the hair is too short, the wax can't grab it, so you get the pull and the pain, but the hair stays put. Super frustrating. Too long, and it breaks off instead of coming out at the root. You've got to hit that sweet spot. Now here's the tip that blew my mind. Caffeine. Avoid coffee before your appointment. I know, that's a tough one. But caffeine is a stimulant that heightens nerve sensitivity. If you have a double espresso before you go in, your skin is literally more sensitive to pain. Skip the morning latte on wax day. Save it as a reward for after. Trust me, even I skip my morning pine bark tea before an appointment. Now, are there reasons you absolutely should not wax? Yes, and they're serious. The biggest contraindications are medications like Accutane and Retin A. Accutane is that intense acne medication, and it works by thinning the top layer of your skin. If you put wax on skin that's been thinned by Accutane, you risk something called lifting, which is a very polite term for ripping the skin off. You need to be off Accutane for at least 6 months before it's safe. And Retin A, which is in everything now for anti-aging, same idea. You have to stop using it on the area you want waxed well before your appointment. Be honest with your serologist about what you're taking and what you're putting on your skin. They need to know. They're not judging you, they're protecting you. All right, you survived the wax, you're smooth, you're glowing. Now what? The aftercare. And there's a critical 48-hour rule. For 2 days after your wax, your hair follicles are basically tiny open wounds. They're vulnerable. So here's the do not do list. No sun, no tanning beds, no hot tubs or saunas. And this one gets people, no intense exercise. Now, exfoliating. People always say you need to exfoliate, and you do, but not right away. Wait 72 hours. Let the skin heal and close up first. Then start gently exfoliating on a regular basis. Why? Because that new hair growing in is fine and weak. If there's a layer of dead skin blocking its path, it can't break through the surface. It curls back under and becomes an ingrown. Regular, gentle exfoliation keeps that pathway clear. So, let's bring it home. We started this thinking about waxing as a painful chore, something you dread and endure, but it's so much more than that. It's biology, chemistry, and specialized training all working together. And the huge takeaway? Who you go to matters so much. The difference between a horror story and a great experience comes down to the wax quality, the technique, and the training. A serologist isn't just ripping a strip off. They're analyzing your skin, choosing the right formula, and making sure you're safe. When you choose a specialized place like Waxing the City, you're not just paying for hair to be gone. You're paying for safety, expertise, and someone who actually cares about the skin they're leaving behind. And maybe that's the real shift. We're so focused on the hair we want to remove that we forget to think about the skin we're keeping. If we see grooming not just as getting rid of the bad stuff, but as caring for ourselves, that changes everything. The choices we make and the professionals we trust. So next time you're staring at that razor in the shower doing the ankle contortion, maybe think bigger. This is Sassy, signing off. Stay smooth, stay curious, and remember, even a Bigfoot can glow. The Smooth Sasquatch is produced by Waxing the City Shawnee Hills. New episodes drop whenever Sassy comes out of the woods, which is roughly every 4 to 6 weeks. Coincidence? We think not.